Okay, so first of all, we have XWM turret. So XWM turret costs 32,000 coins to buy in the shop, and it's basically one of the best towers there is in the entire whole game. So, and like it can be used absolutely everywhere. It has air detection, it has all the detections, plus it has ignore bullet resistance. It costs 4,850 to place down, but that's just it being more of a mid to late game tower. But it still works good as an early game tower. So I'm gonna put it in, I guess, A tier. Okay, after that we've got warship. So warship is kinda has very little uses and can be only seriously used on one singular map in the game, which is oil rig. So I don't think it is actually a good tower. It costs a lot, but when used properly, you can place like 32 of them on the oil rig map, and yeah, like you can like shred through almost any boss with it. Like especially an endless, but you don't actually need it to win endless. So I guess I'm gonna put it in A tier. Okay, after that we have Toxicnator. Toxicnator is a very well. I don't even really know about this tower a lot, except that it's just more for early game and like it's well, for me it's similar to the laser gunner. So I guess I'm going to put it in like B tier because like I mostly never use it, but I think it's actually pretty good for some like game modes. But yeah. Okay, after that we have Stinger. So Stinger, it's more of a like a tower for new buys, so it's for more like for early game, but I don't know, it just feels like it's pretty weak and can only be used in like intermediate or like easy and like yeah, and like for some easy events like Halloween night 1. So I'm gonna put it in, I guess, like C tier. Okay, now we have Slammer. So Slammer is a pretty good tower. Like before it was the meta for endless because you just cannot go to endless without it because you will just die. Because it can stun slam enemies a lot. So like you can use its ability, I think it was on top hat, that you can like stun enemies super a lot and they will be fancy. Other DPS towers can do a lot of DPS and it gives you a lot of time, but it's especially useful in the Void Apex Virtual fight because you can slow it down a lot. So I guess I'm gonna put this tower in like A tier and yeah. Okay, now we have Sniper. Okay, so I'm not even gonna talk about this guy. Okay, now we have Shotgunner. Um, well, Shotgunner is an early game tower. Yes, it can be used for like other stuff. Like, I guess it has an ability to like unstun and heal towers, but we have medic and shield tower for that, so it's pretty useless. And well, it's only used for speedruns in like early game, so I guess I'm gonna put it in B tier. Okay, now we have Sentry. So the most controversial thing about Sentry is that it has 8 rebuilds. So basically it becomes the best bait tower that there ever was. Well, maybe Scarecrow is good, but it has no rebuild. And like it cannot act as a DPS tower. It's more of a joke tower than well, an actual tower actually. But well, I guess and also Sentry isn't that bad with its DPS. It tries to be a bootleg copy of the XWM turret, so I'm gonna put it over everybody in the B tier. Okay, now we have Scout Helicopter. Okay, so this guy is just trying to copy the normal helicopter, but he's from AliExpress and he cannot do no shit about it. So he's kinda bad. So I'm probably gonna put him in like B tier. Well, yeah, he can like reveal stealth, but most of the time you can just use a recon drone for that. So I'm gonna put him in like C tier. It has very underwhelming DPS too. I know John said it isn't used for DPS, but that like DPS is the only slight good thing about it. Okay, now we have Ranger. Okay, I'm not even gonna say anything about this guy. Goes in S tier. Okay, Railgunner. Now we have Railgun. So Railgunner is a very good like new buy tower. Like you can get it pretty easily. It doesn't cost that much and it does a lot of damage. And if you have a teammate, you can become actually useful with the Railgunner because you can be spamming them and they will do like tons and tons of damage, which is a very good boss killer. So I'm gonna put him over the top like everybody in B tier. Okay, now we have Psycho Slayer. So about Psycho Slayer, I like that he's like a very mobile tower. He has a very cool design. He has a lot of DPS. But most of the time you don't really use him. Yeah, he has like 5 abilities that are pretty cool, but I don't really know. But for him just having very good DPS, I'm gonna put him in A tier. Actually, I'm gonna put him, I guess, over the warship. And no, actually, no, he's not there at the warship. Okay, now we have Patrol Boat. So Patrol Boat is trying to copy warship, but is doing a very bad job at it. So well, the most bad thing about it is that it has no stealth detection, like at all, not at any level. So for that, it's super bad, and I'm gonna put it in C tier. Yeah, it has some good DPS, but I don't know, most of the time you don't need that DPS, and it doesn't actually have that much DPS. Okay, now we have Operator, which is trying to be more cooler than the Ranger, but he can't because he's too pathetic. But, well, at some point in the April Fool's event, he was able to spawn M2 Bradleys on his spawning path, but now he's kinda doesn't do that. He spawns just zombies, so I guess I'm gonna put him in like C tier. Okay, now we have NoobTuber. Well, I think he deserves to go in the same row as Stinger because they're pretty much almost the same towers, but Stinger is made more like for the air like enemies. Okay, now we have Mobster. Mobster isn't a bad tower because it sells for only like 5,000 coins. It does pretty good DPS. It's basically just a very good tower for like early game and new buys. Well, actually it does scale pretty good to like mid and like a little bit to late game, but I don't think he's that good, so I'm gonna put him in like over Shotgunner. Okay, in B tier. Okay, now we have Missile Trooper. So Missile Trooper is actually a very good tower because if you spam the Javelin upgrade, he's gonna be like super good because the primary target multiplier is like 3x. So if he does like 200 damage, he's gonna do 600. So I'm gonna put him in like over the Sentry in B tier. Okay, now we have Mind Layer in D tier. Goes in D tier immediately. Okay, Medic. So Medic, Medic is a very good tower because well, it was pretty good, but then the shield tower arrived, which everybody can get very fast because the shield tower doesn't cost that much crystals. So I'm also gonna rate shield tower too. But well, now medic is still pretty useful because he does heal a lot and he does have the overcharge ability and the uber ability to make your towers invincible, unlike the shield tower. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. And shield tower, you basically just need it. If you don't, you cannot beat nightmare because your towers are gonna die like on wave 40. So I'm gonna put him shield tower over psycho slayer. Okay, machine gunner. So machine gunner is kind of a forgotten tower because nobody can really use. Well, I don't know people who actually use it. So, and well, he does have air detection, and like I guess he was made for elite. Well, something makes me think he was made for elite. So I'm gonna put him in like B tier over this sentry, I guess. Okay, now we have advisor. Okay, now we have laser gunner. So laser gunner was a go-to tower, like in the early like stage of the game. But now it's not that good. Yeah, John recommends it, like for you to use it in expert, like a new reworked expert. But I don't know. Everybody at this point has like golden rangers and golden officers and everything. So, well, he is a go-to tower. So I'm gonna put him in like probably like over missile trooper in B tier. Okay, so now we have Juggernaut. So Juggernaut is also a go-to tower. It has a lot of DPS, especially it was updated, so now I think it's top path. Then it can do explosive rounds, which basically lets you like ignore some resistances, which is very cool and I like it. And Juggernaut is used almost in every loadout, like a preset loadout of the developers in some events, and it's just a good tower overall for like new buys, so I'm gonna put it in A tier. Okay, so John. John is used primarily for like buffing of the damage of the railgunners or the artillery. Because when you spam artillery, you really need John to buff up their damage and do like 50% more damage if you know how to use John properly. So I'm gonna put, and John is a goat himself, so I'm just gonna put him in probably A tier, and I'm gonna put artillery in A tier too. Okay, now we have Jet Trooper. So Jet Trooper is like, I don't know, I don't even know like much about the Jet Trooper. He's kinda just a like an air tower that tries to like copy the helicopter and does it even worse than the scout helicopter. This is actually pretty good because you can stack it up. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. Not actually over the railgunner, over the missile trooper. Wait, laser gunner is supposed to be there. Okay, helicopter. Helicopter is certainly a goated tower because it can be used absolutely in every event, game mode, anything. It doesn't get stealth detection early on, but well, it's not. It is used for early game, but mostly not because like before you place it, you need to get the money to actually do something, and most of the time you just use the recon drone anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in S tier, and also he is very good anti-air. Yeah, it gets killed super easily by like any boss, but he's also overpowered against any boss too. And here in like top path is basically like a super buffed XWM flying in the air. It has anti-air missiles that do like super a lot of damage for like air targets. So yeah, I'm putting him in S tier, not over the ranger, of course. Okay, now we have grenadier. So grenadier, well, Grenadier is a pretty good early like tower for newbies that want to like stun enemies. So I'm gonna put him in like B tier here. Okay, Goon Gunner. Okay, so the Goon Gunner is actually a very good tower because it's pretty cheap. It's also it can also spawn those slime enemies, which are pretty good too. So I'm gonna put him in put her in A tier, like the last spot there is. Okay, now Golden Ranger. Golden Ranger is also a super good tower for like newbies. Well, newbies can't. Well, actually, he's not very good for newbies because he costs 38 like thousand points to get. So I'm gonna put him in like I guess over the laser gunner in B tier because he's also just a better version of the laser gunner. He does a lot of DPS, so you can actually spam him in late game, but the golden mobster just outclasses him because the golden mobster's top path just is just a buffed up golden ranger that spawns a lot of troops. Okay, now we have golden mine layer. So golden mine layer, it definitely doesn't deserve a spot at D, unlike his brother. So I'm gonna probably put him in like A tier. Well, he's a golden tower and stuff, and he's very strong. Like you use him in endless a lot when you want to win. But yeah, he's just an overall very good tower because he can like do a lot of damage by like throwing his mines at like all over like across the map. You can macro that ability, so it does so much DPS. Early game he's very shit, so I'm gonna put him in A tier. Okay, now Golden Mobster. So Golden Mobster is probably one of the best towers there is in the entire game. You must have him if you're a late game player because he just gives you so much money. He gives you cash back. He's just so much better than the normal mobster. Yeah, he costs a lot, but that's why he's for late game. You kind of need him to like win Nightmare if you want, but yeah, you can use normal mobster if you win a Nightmare, but it's just gonna make your life so much easier with Golden Mobster. So I'm putting him in S tier. Okay, now we have Golden Juggernaut. So Golden Juggernaut probably goes like over the XWM in A tier because he is just the most like the best tower to spam when you cannot place any more XWM turrets. He's just a very good tower with his ignore golden resistance, especially with the EDJs and with all the buffs he can get. Bottom path can get up to 8,000 DPS, which is insane even for like a couple of seconds. So yeah, he's getting S tier. Okay, now we have Ghost. Ghost is a pretty good, like probably one of the best choices there is for a newbie player to like get early defense. So I'm putting her in A tier. And she can also get like this drone that she has, and it's super cool. It's very good for cleaning up leaks. It ignores bullet resistance, has like 75 DPS, which isn't that bad. So yeah, goes in A tier. Flame Trooper. So Flame Trooper could only have been gotten in an event. Well, Flame Trooper is a very good tower, but when it comes to there are a lot of enemies with flame resistance in the game to make the war machine less overpowered, so Flame Trooper is kinda not that good considering it also cannot see any stealth enemies, which is actually extremely bad, so you need to back up him. He does have a lot of DPS, but he cannot do anything in late game like at all. He can only do something in mid game, so yeah, I'm putting him in A tier only. Farm. EDG. So EDG is the most goated tower there is in the entire game. Well, no, well, Ranger is more goated, but EDG is just too good. Goes in S tier, and when it's used properly, it can always use so much money, and it gives you so much more DPS that it just you cannot go to Nightmare without it. So, and it's also super cheap for like newbie players, and yeah, now, so I'm putting it in S tier. Now there is Cryo Mortar. Cryo Mortar is a super good tower because it's like basically the best freezing tower because um it just does its job the best. You could only get it in an event, which even I didn't see. So well, I think it's just pretty overpowered, but I think it got nerfed, so now it's pretty weak actually. So I'm still gonna put it in A tier. Now we have Cryo Blaster. Combat drones. Combat drone is actually one of the most interesting towers there is in TDX because you can actually control him. And this was probably like the only one there was in the like entire like tower defense games history. So I'm putting him in like S tier because he's useful in every game mode. Yes, in some game modes he's overpriced to make it more balanced, but I think it's still fine because of how good he is. Okay, now we have Barracks. So Barracks is a goated tower again because I'm putting it A tier immediately. It's basically the best tower for newbies. It has pretty good troops, pretty good everything. Like if you max it out, it's actually going to be useful. So I'm putting in A tier. The Armored Factories. Armored Factory is just a better version of Barracks that scales much more better to like late game and mid game. So I'm putting it in A tier. It has very good stuff, like very good tanks that have actual collision resistance, which is very good. And well, but you need to know how to use it and like what path do you upgrade it. Well, I personally go like bottom path, so yeah. AA turret. So AA turret is also a very good tower because when you don't have enough DPS like to air enemies or when you need to kill stinky Artemis with it, it comes to handy. And basically, it's just the best anti-air tower there is. The Patriot turret is super good. Everything is just so good about this tower that it's super cheap. It also works as good bait, so I'm putting it in A tier. Okay, guys, the last uh, tower we have on this list, which is the War Machine. I'm putting the War Machine in probably in S tier because the War Machine is actually very hard to get, but once you get it, you can actually do something in Ultra Nightmare. It makes your life so much easier in other game modes. You can easily do Endless and everything. It's just one of the best towers there actually is. So yeah, um, I'm putting it in S tier. And well, this is it, guys. We have ranked all 45 towers. Well, there are gonna be more, but only in part 2. So yeah, guys.